Their own rude law had been one of brute force. That's the only law that Maori had. Without the aid of iron, the most trifling tool or utensil could only be procured by an enormously disproportionate outlay of labour in its construction, and, in consequence, became precious to a degree scarcely conceivable by people of civilized and wealthy countries. In other words, Maori had nothing made of iron, and they would do anything to get something made of iron. This great value attached to personal property of all kinds, among Maori that is, increased proportionally the temptation to plunder. So when other tribes had things made of metal, instruments or tools or utensils, what happened was other tribes became jealous and coveted and wanted those things, and he calls it the temptation to plunder, increased proportionally. So the more tools made of iron that Maori tribes procured, the more was their temptation to plunder, to go on a war, to have a war, to raid the other tribe. And he says, where no law existed or could exist of sufficient force to repress the inclination, in other words, where there was no laws to stop them going plundering and warring and stealing, every man as a natural consequence became a soldier.